Hello, my friends. We're on a tripod right now. Move this around without getting my legs caught on it. Special treat today. What's inside the box? What's in the box? What's in the box? What is in the box? We're going to check out what's inside the box. I'm just cleaning out my baseboard heater because it's about to get very fucking cold here in this part of Canada. Actually, all over the place, I think, really, is getting this deep freeze, but gonna need maybe some backup heat. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure everything's out of the radiator. There's often I store batteries in this mess. And Kitty has decided that she likes to get in there, and she's been knocking batteries, and they've been landing into the heater, which thankfully haven't been on. But it can come on by itself during extreme colds, so I was a little worried. Not quite yet, but later on, yeah, if there's a battery in there and it turns on, not good. So it's all cleared out. And while I was doing that, I was like, oh, well, this would be a good time to open up the box and maybe show some people what's inside the box. And this trunk is actually my father's old military kit trunk that he passed on to me. My dad's still alive, but he gave this to me when I was doing my travels when I was about 17. This is what kept my worldly possessions inside. And, of course, now Emmy's going to stand on top of it so he can't open it. Right? And she's also going to jump inside when I open it because she hasn't been in there, I don't think. Yes, jump up there. There you go. So, what's inside the box? Let's see here. Do some adjustment on the old tripod here. And all right. What are we looking at here? So, there's a mishmash of everything inside this trunk. From paperwork to porn, comics. I think all the pornography is down at the bottom, so we won't get into that. But I've got scripts. There's Millennium Rap Party, Poltergeist Legacy script. Millennium Cast Call, so it's a call sheet. Call sheet for Millennium. Call sheet for Millennium. And a Poltergeist Legacy map. What else we got here? Oh, I think I'm getting into some. Yeah, there's a Playboy. It's not too dirty. Yeah, just more call sheets and stuff from the TV industry when I worked on Millennium and X-Files. This, my friends, is a Playboy, and the reason why I got the Playboy wasn't because of the women, was because it has an X-Files article in it, which I can't read because it's in Japanese. But we were hoping that it would have some pictures of us, my buddy Mike and I. In 1997, maybe, there was like this whole Japanese press junket that came to the effects shop. And our boss, Toby, didn't want to deal with them, so Mike and I did. So we were looking for anything from Japan that might have us in it, because we were interviewed by a lot of people. This appears to be a script. I'm not too sure what script this is. Quartermain. Oh, is this? This might be Nick Fury. It's actually a script for Nick Fury. Sarcophagus or water. I don't know, it's talking about a sarcophagus. I'm not too sure what script that is. But it's a big script, apparently. Here it is. A Nick Fury call sheet. Another Nick Fury call sheet. Another Nick Fury call sheet. Another Nick Fury call sheet. This is an article on Mike and I working on the X-Files. This is from the Daily Gleaner, a newspaper article that's in our newspaper that's in our hometown here. I think my mom had actually cut that out and sent it to me. This is an autograph by the Great Cat. I can't remember who got that for me, but somebody did. These aren't really great collectibles, but just some of that stuff. I think it's kind of keeping the stuff on top safe. This is a calendar, a local calendar that actually my band from 1990s is in somewhere. I don't know which month we are. Yeah, I don't know where. We're in here somewhere. There we are, Dream Kick. It was funny, a friend of mine, when I moved back to town, met me and he's like, this is going to sound weird, well, I had your picture on my wall. And that's what he was talking about. Was this? Yeah, it was weird. All right, so now we're into the good shit. Comic books I collected quite a bit. I'm actually going to get down a little bit closer to the floor here. Comic books I collected quite a bit, but I like to collect kind of more weird, obscure stuff. So I really love the Spider-Man 2099 series, and I have the entire series as well as the Ghost Rider 2099 series as well. And then I got a bunch of Danzig's comic books. Goth, Death Dealer, Egrat, Veronica, Cry for Dawn. Let's see. This is the Batman Vampire Blood Rain, I think it's called. Not in very good condition, Chris. James O'Barr #1 comic. Penn and Teller, How to Play with Your Food, which was a hilarious book that I got for my birthday, but I think it was about 16 or so. And we got a bunch of kind of random stuff, Beavis and Butthead. What else down here? Vampirella. Oh, Vampirella. And then, yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I'm not going to show you. It's underneath there. And, so, yeah. All of this stuff was meant to be kept for years in a trunk. And hopefully, you know, at some point, the money is going to accrue. You know, they're going to become worth more and more. There, that's what I was looking for. These are pretty cool. Hellraiser, they did a Hellraiser comic book series of the short stories from Books of Blood. So I've got a bunch of those. And then, Hellraiser. Pinhead. I have #1, 2, and 3. Alita Battle Angel, who is, of course, the tattoo on my arm. Some of you might remember Alita Battle Angel. There's a movie that came out that James Cameron did. I was into this anime, and really manga. It was a manga long before the James Cameron movie ever came out. I had the tattoo long before the movie ever came out. It's always kind of weird when you get tattoos. Like, I got a Punisher tattoo. And then they did those horrible, awful, horrible Punisher movies. And so, yeah, when people see the Punisher in your arm, they kind of associate it with that instead of the comic book, which was really fucking cool. So the same thing happened with Alita kind of thing. People see that. Well, most people don't even know what it is. But Alita Battle Angel movie wasn't the best in the world. So, yeah, some more Hellraiser. Hellraiser Christmas. Very timely. And then... some more Tapping the Vein, Clive Barker. And again, these are comics that were made of the Books of Blood. If you've read any of of Clive Barker's work. All right, let's get on to the other side here. Trying to get rid of all these scripts. Well, it looks like I have my Ghost Rider kind of split up, but I think I was going through and seeing how much things were worth. So one of the other weird things that I got into collecting because I wanted to be different was 3D comics. So I got 3D glasses for all these. I've got Captain EO in 3D and a bunch of government paperwork. See, they're all Michael Jackson in 3D, my friends. Yeah, just a bunch of different, nothing really. Like, I just wanted to grab stuff. Like, this is a #1 Robotech 3D. All these great 3Ds. More Hellraiser stuff. Venom, before the movies came out, they did a Venom got his own series, and he was called Lethal Protector. And so, yeah, I got a bunch of the Venoms. Venom with Punisher. More 3D comics. More 3D comics. Mr. Lizard. More 3D comics. More 3D comics. Fright Night 3D comics. This is a very, very naughty, these aren't 3D, but this is a very, very naughty comic book collection, Gabby and the Goat. Yeah, it's essentially like comic book porn, but because it had Satan involved, I had to have it. Plop magazine, which is in great shape. The Flaming Carrot, which I just love. Flaming Carrot's just one of the best comic book characters ever created. If you've seen the movie Mystery Men, you've seen some of the characters created in this series. When 9/11 happened, I wanted to, you know, memorialize it a bit, and got a copy of the Time magazine and had it shrink wrapped. So that's no good for nothing. Put another cover on it, and a bunch of more random comics down here. Michael Straczynski. Oh yeah. So here's some really good, some of the better collector comic stuff. I've got several of these with, I don't know if the holographic cover really shows up well on there. I don't think it does, but I got a series of holographic cover Spider-Mans as well. This is a #1 Venom, and it glows in the dark. And it looks like I made some effort to catalog some stuff a while back when I was in here. More Spider-Man 2099 stuff. I think a lot of that stuff's mostly extras down at the bottom. I don't think that's anything. And yeah, this is just a bunch of old paperwork. On this other side here, I've got a bunch of TV guides and stuff that are X-Files related. This is the old band, Dreamkick. Oh, here we go. That was one of our old posters. I don't want to dig too far because I'm going to get into something nasty down here. Star Wars. I don't know. Yeah, just some other magazines that aren't really worth too much. They're down at the bottom there. So we got some pictures in here. Nothing exciting as far as pictures are concerned. What's this? What is this? Anyways, so that's what's inside the box. And it looks like I'm going to have to go and sort out all these comics because they look like they're way out of sorts. That's so funny. So yeah, that was what is inside the box. It used to have a lot more stuff inside the box. But then when the X-Files Museum got a hold of me, yeah, there was a lot of scripts. I had a lot of call sheets, all kinds of stuff that went down to the to the museum in Saratoga Springs, New York.